So when I first heard about Kangen Water, about some Japanese technology that was changing the water, I was just like, this sounds a little bit hokey, like a little bit too good to be true.
When I first heard about the water, I was intrigued. Again, I just thought water was water. But in listening to this friend with his background as a registered dietitian, I figured what he had to say was important.
And I said, hey, thanks, but I got lots of water here. Water is water. He goes, okay, I'll leave right now if you prove to me that water is just water. And I said, sure, what do I have to do? He goes, well, grab a cup, go to your bathroom, scoop up some water from the toilet and drink it for me. And if water is water, it shouldn't matter where it came from. And I said, well, it does matter where it's been. And he goes, exactly. Our water is meant to be this medical device from Japan that changes the structure of it. But I won't bore you with the details. Let me just prove it to you.
And I said, well, I really don't have anything to lose, and I'd probably have a lot of fun proving this guy wrong.
The first time I tried the water, I chugged a quart of water instantly, and I kind of felt like I was tingling, had popcorn in my head, and he joked with me and said I didn't have much oxygen in my brain.
And boy, was I surprised. It was me who got proven wrong, and I'm very happy to say that.
That was intriguing to me. The fact that water could make a difference so quickly in my body, that opened my eyes.
Every single equation and chemical reaction that takes place in our body, inside our cells, takes place in the universal solvent called water. If water is not in those cells, and especially the right type of water, these equations and reactions aren't as efficient, and toxins begin to build up. Kangen water has the amazing ability to get inside the cells at the cellular level and clean all that out.
You're going to find a radical improvement. The reason being, this water's capacity to hydrate, to remove acidic waste from the body, and to reduce free radicals inside the muscle is unparalleled. And I thought water was just water. And we know now today that the structure of your water is more important than the chemical compounds. That's what the top science says.
What happens is when the H2O molecule is split in half by the Enagic Kangen water machines, it tends to have a much higher percentage of oxygen in the water. So when you drink it and it reaches your brain, you're actually getting oxygen for the first time in a long time.
When we change that quality of water from primarily acidic to alkaline, we're able to change that largest component of the body. And with that, we reduce that acid buildup. So your buildup, or lingering, if you will, of that lactic acid and the uric acid and those other acids that are causing and have been proven to increase our risks of sickness, whether it be from disease or general sickness, we're able to see so many people find that health or that quality of life that really, there hasn't really been anything else be able to provide them with that in such a short period of time.
The water has three amazing properties. The number one property is that it's highly antioxidant. The number two property is a microclustering, which means that instead of being a number of H2O molecules holding hands, it's only 6 of them. And by being 6 molecules of H2O being held together, the absorption is almost instantaneous. You absorb it through your mouth and your esophagus before it even reaches your stomach. And the third one is that it's alkaline.
Of course, intellectually, when you learn about it and you see the demonstration, it all is captivating, it all makes sense, and your skepticism becomes interest. But it's really when you try the water when your interest becomes a belief.
Well, the first thing I did is I tried the water myself, and then I experienced the results, and that was irrefutable in my world. So in other words, I want to get behind something that I believe I've tried, that I've done myself.
I didn't just start with a little bit. I started with a half a gallon and quickly moved to a gallon of water a day. And the results I personally had were phenomenal.
Being able to incorporate it into my own personal life. A lot of people notice changes and benefit immediately. I didn't. It took me a couple of 2 or 3 weeks before I really even noticed much different.
Aside from the supplementation where it really had an effect on me, where I personally noticed it was an amazing change in my skin and my hair. And as a female, and most women know this, we're always paying attention to those things and to our outward appearance. And it wasn't like, magically all of my wrinkles were gone, and it wasn't that at all. But that I looked more hydrated, I looked more healthy, and I had people come up to me that I hadn't seen in 3 and 4 months saying, what are you doing? Your skin looks amazing. And my hair, which I always, my whole life, had a little bit more on the frizzy side, like frizzy hair, flyaway kind of hair. and I use the water and I spray the 2.5 on my skin and my hair every day. I actually was able to eliminate almost all of my, products and all the money that I was spending on hair products. Ladies, we know about that. And it's made an incredible change on my hair, and it's much smoother and silkier, along with my skin being much softer and hydrated looking.
One of the most common things I've noticed, though, is a decrease in muscle soreness. So anyone that's worked out or been in the gym or done any form of exercise, or even someone that's just getting into a routine, notice there's a thing called delayed onset muscle soreness. It's common to exercise. Well, drinking this water reduces that so significantly. I mean, it's like nothing I've ever seen to address that.
And I believe that the only way of being able to get a lot of those toxins out of my body was by changing the pH of that entire system, going from acidic to alkaline. So I've been able to notice that, and in getting rid of those toxins, my energy levels, my recovery, my joints. I know, just being an athlete from the past, I had a lot of joint pain, knees and ankles and feet and back. And just by increasing that hydration, changing the pH of the largest component of my body, which is water, changing that has truly allowed me a whole new level of energy and recovery potential that I've never had in the past.
I recently had a baby 7 months ago, and I have always been in good shape. I've been working out my whole life, really, 5-6 days a week. What the water did was I hit a plateau. I just couldn't lose any more weight after I had my third child. It was really frustrating to me, and I started drinking this water with no thoughts, anticipation that I would lose any weight. It's been about 2.5 months now that I started drinking the water, and I've lost 18 pounds. The only thing I've done differently is drink the water.
So we've had our facility now for a little while, and it has been phenomenal. The initial process of getting this water into our clinic, giving it to our patients, to our fitness members, to our employees, it's been exciting.
So I started incorporating the water in with their programs and started seeing immediate results with them. Again, the primary thing that I always hear is, either sleeping better. Sleep is a really big one, especially for women over 40. They were waking up feeling refreshed. They were more energized. They had more energy during the day. And the big changes that I saw with them when I was with them and working with them was that their workouts, they're training harder or longer. They were actually pushing themselves harder. So I was able to bring them up to another level just by adding one other component, which was the water.
At that point, I took it upon myself to share with a group of committed people that I was working with and said, hey, look, we're going to take a period of time, we're going to do an intensive hydration therapy with this Kangen water, and we're going to see what we can actually get done here. And we did a 21-day trial with a number of my clients, and the results were mind-blowing.
The clientele that I'm fortunate to work with truly are elite athletes in the professional athletic world, and they have the opportunity to choose pretty much any product out there in the marketplace, and they choose us.
We had a fitness challenge where all of our employees for 2 months were working out together, drinking the water together, and trying to see who could have the best results overall. And all of us had great results, but one person in particular who works here at the front desk, her wall sit went from 2 minutes to 22 minutes, which I've never even heard of someone who could do a 22-minute wall sit, and she did nothing else different. And she won the whole contest. She had her plank went from about 3 minutes to about 12 minutes. It was just amazing results.
I've noticed with my patients that the water has helped with their pain, with their inflammation, with their fatigue. They have more energy.
It's definitely helping our clients, and we're noticing that, we're seeing it. It's not just something that we believe, we can see it as well.
They're excited. They're excited to drink the water. They're excited to have something else to help with the pain and discomfort they're in.
There's no better thing that you can do than to have a Kangen water machine at your house, because not only will it help you with the hydration, but getting rid of all those toxic chemicals. Every time we spray window cleaner, we're inhaling ammonia. Beauty water replaces that. Anytime we use Drano, that's toxic, that goes down the drains. We use 11.5 water for that. We disinfect our fruits and vegetables. We remove any possible salmonella contamination from chicken. It's interesting how the longer we keep drinking this water, the more and more benefits we begin to notice. Kangen water has become a part of our life as much as oxygen is.
There is nothing that is more simple, nothing that is faster or more efficient to change the body chemistry, to improve the results of a person, than drinking Kangen water. And in fact, it's probably the easiest thing you could possibly change in your overall wellness program. And better yet, it'll probably give you more results for a longer period of time than anything else you could try.
Change your water, change your life. And that's exactly what we're doing, one life at a time.
If you would like to try the water, contact our front desk about participating in our free 2-week independent study. Experience for yourself the amazing benefits of Kangen water.